Hello guys and welcome back by another first look. This time I'm looking at Autopsie Simulator. This is the demo. I'm really curious because I'm looking at this game for quite a while. And I really want to know how it works. If it is as awesome as I think it is.
No, do not call me anymore. It's none of my business.
Okay, it's none of your business. What is none of your business, dude? Can I do something? Okay. Photo. Hey Alice, you can't even imagine how much I miss you. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Calendar?
shit. It's only Thursday.
Yep. Aerosmith. Cool, Aerosmith. That is awesome. Okay. Note. Just a reminder, I'm seeing you on Friday.
Oh, the cops from Steven's visit yesterday. I don't think he likes my coffee. He barely took a sip.
Whiskey. I've got my own issues, but I got to get away from work. Cool. My own cup. Note. Hi, this is Kate Brooks, a reporter from the New Orleans Weekly. I couldn't find you at home. I'm starting to suspect you are avoiding me, Mr. Hammond. Anyway, as you know, we'd like to write on... So what? We want to write an on-site commemorating your wife's achievement. We would be delighted to talk to you about it. Along with this note, I'm also leaving my business card. I hope you find you at your home or at the office. Okay. Okay. Okay.
How am I supposed to record a lecture for the students now? Feeling completely broken.
You can open up like anything. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in there. Okay. $1987. What was written on there? No idea.
I borrowed it from Steven. Since Alice died, Steven is the only person I trust.
Love Alice. 90s party. You really have nothing in your stuff.
Nuts if I don't take my pills.
Another person gone missing on the serial kidnap in Petersville. Okay. That's not readable anymore. That's kind of readable. More. Jane Doe, Autopsie. Jack and Alice were wedding ceremony. Okay, so he was married. Dynamic video. Entombment day? Holiday trip. That's Woodland cabin trip. Okay. James Doe. Oh, okay. Exactly the same stack. How to break out of this vicious circle. Right. Okay.
Medical school diploma. I'm glad it's hanging here, because I can barely remember that time anyway.
Okay. Why is it lagging quite a bit though? But well. Oh, this is the office. Bathroom.
Fuck. Where are my meds?
Oh yeah. Castile soap. Can I take a leak? Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Good to
All right. Now we can go get the camera.
Wet paint, do not enter. Okay. Storage.
Oh, this place is starting to look like a garbage dump rather than a storage room. Well, I hope I won't forget to press the record button this time. Repairs, repairs. Let's move on straight to our deceased.
Wet paint, do not enter. Autopsy room, I guess. Oh,
I'm
hello.
wondering how the new tripod is going to work.
Where is your new tripod, dude?
Just frame it properly and...
Wait. Okay. I prefer it without, but you know, it's for YouTube.
Oh, this should be fine.
Okay.
November 21st, 1991. Time, 8:43 p.m. Recording for medical students from the University of Missouri. The autopsy is conducted by Jack Hammond. Ladies and gentlemen, it is always worth having a look at the files before conducting the autopsy. That is where we can find all kinds of clues to what could have potentially happened to the deceased. Well, who do we have here today? Mention the rookie mistakes. Oh yeah, that's right. That's my warrant to sensify you for a few issues. First, due to the fact that in the process of revealing and securing forensic traces, interference that changes the primary condition happens. The photographic documentation plays a huge role in the entire process of examination. Then, the body needs to be placed on its back on the autopsy table. The pathomorphologist stands on the left-hand side of the body. Third, very rarely but still, the cause of death remains unknown if all the tests come out negative. That's the so-called white autopsy. Now remember that it can also happen. Found on the outskirts of a parking lot near a gas station, where he often begged and insistently offered to clean the windows of cars that were leaving the station. The body was found in a dry field drain. A frequent cause of traumatic deaths among the elderly is the various types of accidents, including traffic accidents or falling down the stairs. The body was spotted by a station worker during the morning shift. At first, he thought that someone had thrown rain boots and a coat in a nearby ditch. It took him a moment to recognize a human body laying on its back. Signs of libation could be found around the dead body. Empty bottles, traces of an inept attempt to start a fire, and a scattered makeshift blanket. The deceased is locally known as Old Toby. Homeless and unemployed for at least a couple years, he had gotten into fights and had been bullied by the problematic youth of the town. He was that type of a man who never kept up alcohol, which caused him to be homeless. As a young man working in a suburban coal mine most of his life, he already abused alcohol, and as the time went by, he'd fall into addiction more. Oh, that's interesting. Although alcohol poisoning as a sole cause of death among the elderly people is relatively rare, different levels of alcohol poisoning happen among 1 in 4 deaths of elderly people, which may suggest that alcohol abuse is a significant issue in this age group. What is important to note, even though alcohol poisoning does not cause death, it does increase the risk of accidents and their following injuries.
Okay.
The body was found at 7 o'clock by Sheriff Matthew Thompson. White male, 76 kilograms, 5'8", age unknown. The deceased is a local homeless man named Toby Chambers. His son runs a hardware store. His wife ran away years ago. Local police have talked to residents, so we know more about the deceased. For example, that he loved drinking, and by no means was abstinent. Such clues can direct us to things that are worth keeping in mind during the autopsy. Mention the found on the bot. Mention the rookie mistakes.
Okay.
Oh, where are the damn gloves?
Oh, gloves. 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 I need gloves. Gloves. Gloves.
Now we can get to work. We're going to need the camera. It should be here somewhere.
I need a camera.
Must have left it in one of the drawers.
Oh. There it is. A Polaroid.
Let's follow the procedure and prepare photo documentation. We must follow the top-down rule. Luckily, we don't have to take pictures of the clothes this time. We are only focusing on the body. Let's keep in mind it's all about the legibility, not the perfect frame. Before we start searching for voila! Now we move on to the next step, trace search. We're going to need better zoom here. More, and that's perfect. People affected by homelessness most often die from accidents, alcohol abuse, or they freeze to death. Unfortunately, both suicide and homicide are also quite common.
Okay.
Well, you don't have to stand close to be able to smell a strong odor of alcohol and other discharges. There's nothing left to say. Old Toby didn't spare himself.
That's not it. There is some bruises over here. That's not it. Bloody eye, bloody face, bloody neck. Which I cannot make a photo of. Why not? Um. The bruise on his head, okay.
While taking the photos, some entries that could be potentially lethal caught my attention. Let's take a closer look using the magnifying glass. I don't know how it could have worked without this gadget before.
Where the heck is a magnifying glass? Oh.
By the look of his feet, I assume Toby must have worn uncomfortable and dinky shoes for quite a while. However, such wounds have nothing to do with his death. An old wound that hadn't healed properly. It must have been some kind of burn or other injury. Nevertheless, it has nothing to do with the potential cause of death.
I think his head has to do with the
There
death.
are frostbite marks all over the deceased's body, although they are most visible on the tips of his fingers. They can be recognized by the very specific color of the skin. However, the hands tell us much more.
His wrist is all blue and shit.
That's something interesting. While making photographic documentation, ecchymosis can be seen on the deceased man's head. The appearance indicates the intravital nature of the wound. We'll come back later to see if everything is alright with the brain. What do we have here?
Okay.
The condition of the head tells us it could have been a fatal accident. An old wound that hadn't healed properly. It must have been some kind of burn or other injury. Nevertheless, it has nothing to do with the potential cause of death. By the look of his feet, I assume Toby must have worn uncomfortable and dinky shoes for quite a while. However, such wounds have nothing to do with his death. Yeah, the odor can be the result of alcohol intoxication. It could be freezing to death.
Okay.
At this point, that's all I can do based on all traces on the body of the deceased. Now let's check the level of muscle tension. This will allow us to establish time of death. Let's raise the deceased's hand. That's too low. And then let go. The stronger the rigor mortis gets, the greater the resistance from the muscles will be. As you can see, the hand falls loose. The rigor mortis has already subsided. We can then assume that the time of death stated in the files is correct.
Interesting.
Let's grab a scalpel.
A scalpel. Alright, scalpel? Okay.
You can boldly cut with the scalpel. It won't hurt him no more. We always start from the neck and move down towards the symphysis pubis. Next, we separate the skin and prepare to remove the ribs.
You sure you do this with your hand?
The adipose tissue has an intense yellow hue. As you probably already guessed, we're going to need the scissors.
Oh, that sound.
After removing both cartilage and bone tissues, we are actually interested in two things that you can see at the very first glance. The lack of organ congestion means that, although the deceased was cold, hypothermia wasn't the cause of death.
You can see shit on his lungs. Like, over there. Oh, you just have to hover over it.
We can eliminate freezing as the cause of death. The deceased smoked like a chimney. Let's take a closer look. We see widespread black and tarry deposits caused by smoking cigarettes. Despite the tragic condition of the lungs, they are not the cause of death. Now we need to go grab the syringe. At this point,
test fluids?
we need to test the level of blood alcohol concentration of the deceased. We move on to collecting blood from the heart. 5 milliliters from the left ventricle should do it. Now, we prick the bladder and draw about 10 milliliters of fluid. We also collect the fluid from the deceased to determine the level of alcohol concentration in the vitreous humor.
Okay.
Keep in mind that you have to set the right time and speed on both knobs before running the centrifuge. Our samples may break into pieces due to the centrifugal force if we set up the wrong coordinates. I myself am terrible with numbers because I suffer from dyscalculia, which is why I always keep the appropriate coordinates at hand.
Take the note from the pinboard. Okay. Time 40 minutes, speed 75%. 40 minutes, oh, look at that. Awesome. 40 minutes. No. $75%. 40 minutes. Okay.
Damn it. If something goes to shit, it's all the way. That's probably the blown fuses again. Hold up. I must have had a flashlight somewhere.
Oh, I'm not happy with this. Did this turn out to be a horror game? I'm out and I'm not playing it anymore.
And I was hoping to clock out early today. What was that? Where did it go? Yeah, it's definitely the fuses. Right goes first, left next. Voila.
Oh my god.
Where's that unbearable noise coming from? That's strange. I'm pretty sure I closed the window.
Oh, hell no. I was happy with everything that I was doing.
This is me already. Where were we? Oh yeah. Alright, let's see what we've got here. Well, everything is telling us that the BAC, blood alcohol concentration, is high, hence the smell we're getting from the deceased. Still, to be 100% sure, I have to send the samples to the lab. Unfortunately, I don't have the equipment to conduct a detailed analysis here.
Well, with that said and that creepy shit going on, this was it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I hope I'll see you guys in the next one I make. Bye bye.